numbers as a slap in the face of those who have been quick to dub the Indian economy as dead, right from the US President Donald Trump to the leader of opposition back home in the Lok Sabha, which is Rahul Gandhi. The gross domestic product print for the first quarter of the fiscal year 2026 came in higher than the 6.7% growth forecast that was done by several economists.
ऑपोजिशन के मुंह पर एक और फिर तमाचा लगा। जीडीपी के आंकड़े आए हैं, पूरे स्ट्रीट पे जो एक्सपेक्टेशन था सबको बीट कर दिया है। इस बात को दर्शाता है जीडीपी के आंकड़े 7.8% जो आया है इस क्वार्टर का, उससे समझ में आता है कि हमारे देश की अर्थव्यवस्था सिर्फ पटरी पर नहीं बल्कि तेजी से दौड़ रही है। जो आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो फैसले लिए हैं पिछले 11 साल में, उसका नतीजा है कि आज पूरी दुनिया जो है कहीं न कहीं किसी न किसी परेशानियों से दुनिया की इकोनॉमी जूझ रही है, जबकि भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था इतनी मजबूत है कि दुनिया की लार्ज इकोनॉमी में सबसे तेजी से बढ़ रही है और तेज बढ़ती जा रही है।
Well, as far as the Indian economy and when it comes to such kind of a faster pace that has now been witnessed, this has surprised the economists and shockingly when we talk about the doomsayers themselves. Now, as far as when it comes to reactions that have been coming in, Indian economy that has been growing at a faster than expected annual rate of 7.8% in the quarter to the end of June, that has been boosted by manufacturing, construction and service sectors. The surprise acceleration in India's GDP growth in the second quarter means that the economy is still on course to expand by the world beating 7% this year, despite when it comes to the upcoming hit from the punitive US tariffs. So is now India ready? Because the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund project that the country's economy will still grow 6.3% and 6.4% respectively for the fiscal year 2026. However, when it comes to the opposition back home, are not believing in the numbers.
Let me tell you that the farm sector is yet to be counted for because harvesting hasn't started, and the impact of high tariff is yet to come. And apart from it, this government is known for fudging the data. The way the Election Commission has manipulated the data, and that reflects the whole working of the government. So the GDP projected 7.8 is not correct, and this government has been always misleading in all ways, in all means.
Well, there are key drivers when we speak of this surge as far as when it comes to the numbers that have been looking promising. However, the opposition is of the point of view as far as the analogy of vote chori that has now been drawn, saying that the numbers have been fudged here as well by the government, however, in a bid to suit its own narrative. Let's get in a word now from Isha, who's connected with us. Isha, good morning. The 50% US tariffs are also said to play a spoil sport. When we speak of multiple experts as well are of the opinion that Indian economy has been growing at a faster pace, but when it comes to the healthy GDP growth that has seen in the first quarter, that is expected to maintain as far as when it comes to India, that still seems to be standing strong against the US tariffs.
Right, Amitabh. So the Indian government has come strong on their approach and on their way that they will be dealing with the tariffs that have been put up by the American President Donald Trump. In fact, the GDP growth has now also been unprecedented. Absolutely. We have seen India performing exceedingly well. And now the opposition coming in and playing politics here as well. In fact, this is something that is good for our nation. This is something that our GDP growth has done well. So the opposition to come in and say that these numbers are forged, and just like the way that there was vote chori held, this is something that can also be forged. But however, this is Udit Raj. This is a controversial neta of the Congress party. He's known to make controversial statements. He's made such statements in the past as well, where he does critique the BJP on different levels. But here he's made a bizarre statement stating that these numbers can be forged. However, he probably does not understand that the government does not give out the data. This is regulated, and there are bodies which do work towards it. So his point really not making sense at the moment. The government, however, yet to respond to his statements.
All right, but when we speak of the RBI, which has projected India's real GDP growth rate at 6.5% for financial year 26, with the first quarter at 6.5%, second quarter at 6.7%, third quarter at 6.6%, and the fourth quarter at 6.3%. These numbers, however, are likely to hold steady. For the moment, Ishan, thank you very much for joining in. Let's move on and get you on